Ever pondered the thought of your world crumbling down around you? Imagine being a young penguin named Penguis, just about to compete in the belly sliding tournament, when suddenly everything changes. Penguis and his brother Chuchi were looking forward to a day of fun. Their mother was gathering their competition gear when the unthinkable happened. The magical Mount Glacier, the very foundation of their igloo homes, began to crack. The once towering glacier, the heart of Penguinland, started to fall apart. Shards flew from its peak, disappearing into thin air before they even hit the ground. The sight was terrifying, a spectacle of destruction that left everyone in a state of shock. Penguis's mother, in an act of quick thinking, led her sons out of their igloo to a safe place. But safety was a relative term when their entire world was falling apart. The question on everyone's mind was simple, yet heartbreaking. What was happening to Mount Glacier? As the world crumbled around them, a sinister plot was unfolding in the shadows. The banana man with a pan, a henchman of the beast known as the Great Banan, had captured Chuchi and Mum. He presented them to his master, stating, "Sir, I have found these two penguins." There was a third, but a hedgehog intervened with some sort of smoke device and whisked it away. The Great Banan, a massive creature with a menacing aura, analyzed the situation. His eyes narrowed, a wicked smile playing on his lips as he issued his command. "Place these penguins on the 10th floor of the giant banana," he ordered, his voice echoing around the room. "Then I want you to find Banana Man with a can. He will know where to find this mysterious smoke device." Banana Man with a pan nodded, his face masked with determination. "Yes, sir," he replied. And thus the next phase of their dark plan was set into motion. Theories were thrown around, but no one knew for sure. All they knew was that the only way to restore their home was by finding the 4 shards needed to rebuild Mount Glacier. In the midst of the chaos, Penguis noticed something, a large creature lumbering away from the crumbling glacier. Ignoring his mother's warnings, he charged at the beast in a fit of rage, only to be knocked unconscious by the beast's minion, the banana man with a pan. Chuchi and their mother suffered the same fate, but hope was not lost. As the smoke of destruction filled the air, a new ally appeared. A hedgehog, armed with magical berries, rolled in to save the day. Using a smokeberry to create a blinding cloud, he managed to rescue Penguis, taking him far away to the safety of the enchanted forest. When Penguis woke up, he found himself in a leafy haven, a home built from sticks and leaves. His savior, the hedgehog, introduced himself as Hedgie. He explained that they were now in the enchanted forest, a place filled with magical berries with incredible abilities. Penguis was far from Penguinland, almost 275,000 miles away. But with the help of his new friend Hedgie, he was ready to embark on a mission. A mission to find the shards and restore his home, to save Mount Glacier and all of Penguinland. So, buckle up. It's going to be one wild ride. Still dazed by the vast distance I'd traveled, I asked Hedgie how he covered such a distance in a single day. His eyes sparkled with a secret as he led me to a hidden corner of the forest, a farm, but not of ordinary fruits. There, he introduced me to his magical berries, 8 of them, each with a unique name and a unique power. The smokeberry, which could make you invisible. The glimmerberry, that could light up the darkest of caves. Sparkleberry, which could give you the speed of a falcon. The moonstoneberry, capable of showing you hidden paths. Starburstberry, to teleport you to distant places. Mystiqueberry, with the power to talk to animals. Whirlwindberry, to control the winds. And the chillshadeberry, to endure the harshest of temperatures. My heart pounded with realization. These berries, they could be the key to collecting the 4 shards of Mount Glacier. When I shared my thoughts with Hedgie, he agreed. With a nod of his head, he handed me a map of the island, promising to share his berries for the quest. And so, we started our journey. The first location marked on the map was deep within the forest, the possible location of the first crystal. The journey was about to get wilder. As we navigated the twisting paths and ancient trees, the map in my hand started to make sense. "So we just follow this map to the forest?" I asked, tracing the lines with a shaky finger. Hedgie, ever the confident guide, simply nodded. "Yeah, they are in each corner of the map," he replied. I took a deep breath and we pressed on, our footsteps echoing in the silent woods. Suddenly the forest opened up to a clearing and we stopped dead in our tracks. In the middle of the clearing was a sight none would expect in a forest. A giant banana. It towered over us, gleaming in the sunlight. The sight was so absurd, so out of place, it was almost comical. But we knew, in this magical world, nothing was as it seemed. Awestruck, we approached the giant fruit. The map had led us here, but why? What could this giant banana mean? As we pondered, the winds whispered through the trees and we couldn't shake the feeling that the answer was right in front of us. The first shard was near, we could feel it. But first we had to solve the riddle of the giant banana. Shaking off the awe of the giant banana, we realized we weren't alone in the clearing. The great banana, we've got a problem, said Banana Man, missing a hand. A peculiar creature who seemed to be made entirely of bananas, save for one hand. What's the problem? Asked the great banana, a larger, more majestic banana being. Banana Man, missing a hand, handed over a pair of binoculars made of bananas, no doubt, to the great banana. Oh no, exclaimed the great banana. They are coming for us. Wait, no, they're not. Look what's in that penguin's hand, it's a map. Our hearts pounded in our chests as we heard this. They had seen us. They had seen our map. What's on the map? Banana Man, missing a hand, asked. Something about some crystals to restore Mount Glacier, the great banana mumbled, squinting at us through the binoculars. Send Banana Man needing a tan, said the great banana. Yes, sir, said Banana Man, missing a hand. A new banana figure stepped forward, his skin a yellow than the others. I have been summoned, said Banana Man, needing a tan. Yes, we need you to hide in a bush and write down what is on that map, said the great banana. All right, said Banana Man, needing a tan. So he went down into a bush and copied exactly what was on the map. Okay, I got it, said Banana Man, needing a tan. Good, now let's go to the fire crystal in Volcano Ridge, said the great banana. Oh, okay, wait, no, that's the glacier we destroyed. Banana Man, missing a hand, gasped. His words hung in the air, a chilling realization seeping into the magical atmosphere. We were intruders in their world, and we were here to what they had destroyed. The tension was palpable as we prepared for what was to come next. In the shadow of the towering trees, we stumbled upon a colossal structure. Look at that! Hedgie gasped, pointing a tiny paw at the ancient temple. That must be where the shard is hidden, he concluded. Penguis, a look of uncertainty on his face, muttered, But how do we get in? As if answering his question, Hedgie pointed at a stone pole with a platform on top, carved with intricate squiggly lines. Well, I think it's something to do with that, Hedgie said, his voice filled with intrigue. Penguis, always the brave one, leaned over to the platform. Suddenly, to our astonishment, it flashed green, and a strange voice echoed, Penguin determined! The walls of the temple started to rumble and slid open, revealing a giant podium with a gleaming shard floating above it. Whoa! Hedgie voiced our collective awe. That must be it, the first crystal. But the question remained. But where do we put it? Hedgie asked. Penguis, ever the problem solver, suggested, I don't know, maybe we just hold it. It looks pretty big. As Penguis touched the heavy shard, it started to lift on its own, and to our surprise, it went into Penguis's body. What the? Exclaimed Penguis. Well, it beats carrying it around. Are you okay? Asked Hedgie. Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little weird, Penguis replied, still shocked. With the first crystal secured, we looked towards our next destination, Mount Air, a little more prepared than before. With the first crystal shard assimilated by Penguis, we felt a new sense of determination. As we ventured forward, we stumbled upon a lush garden, teeming with varicolored berries. Banana Man, with a pan, who had been silently trailing us, stepped forward. I found these berries in a garden. I'm pretty sure that these are the magical berries that we speak of, he announced, holding up 5 of each kind. The great banana, who had been mysteriously silent, finally spoke. Good. With the approval from the great banana, we proceeded to their farm. The farm was a sight to behold, filled with towering banana trees that seemed to touch the sky. Banana Man with a pan and the great banana started to extract the magic from the berries into the bananas, a process that was fascinating to witness. The magic-infused bananas were then planted, and to our astonishment, they gave rise to trees that bore magical bananas. As we watched the miraculous growth, we knew that the journey ahead would be filled with even more surprises. With the magical bananas at our disposal, We were ready to face whatever challenges Mount Air had in store for us. Leaving the garden behind, our journey continued. "How far away are we from Mount Air?" Penguis asked, looking to Hedgie for an answer. "Not too long," Hedgie responded, his eyes keenly scanning the path ahead. Suddenly, Penguis pointed at a creature hiding between the bushes. "Wait, is that a wigglebottom? I heard they are very rare." "Indeed they are," Hedgie affirmed. "We should talk to it. Maybe it knows where the air crystal is." Both of them decided to approach the creature, their hearts pounding with anticipation. To their surprise, the wigglebottom was kind and helpful. It informed them about the distance to Mount Air and the challenges they would face. The encounter left them with a sense of unease, but also a renewed determination. After all, they had magical bananas and valuable information. As they resumed their journey, Penguis turned to Hedgie, his curiosity piqued. "Hey, Hedgie, what was your life back then before you saved me?" he asked. The question hung in the air, a reminder of the bonds formed on this magical journey and the secrets yet to be revealed. As they walked on, Hedgie's eyes seemed to be lost in the past, his thoughts no longer on the path ahead. "It all started about 2 years ago," he began, his voice soft yet resolute. "A friend and I were walking in the forest on a windy day. A sudden gust brought down a heavy branch, trapping my friend beneath." The atmosphere grew tense as Penguis listened, his eyes wide with anticipation. "I looked around for help, but we were alone. I knew I had to be the one to save him." Hedgie paused, a nostalgic smile playing on his lips. "Then it hit me, quite literally. A smaller branch fell from the tree and hit me in the head. It landed on a rock, balancing perfectly. A leaf fell on one side of the stick and another branch fell on the other end, sending the leaf flying." The story was so engrossing that even the wigglebottom was listening intently. "I realized then that I could use a similar method to lift the branch off my friend. And sure enough, another branch fell, landing on the stick and lifting the heavy branch off my friend." Penguis was amazed at Hedgie's quick thinking and bravery. "Wow, you're brilliant. You should make a living saving animals," he exclaimed. Hedgie chuckled. "That's exactly what my friend said that day." He looked at Penguis, his eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. "There are more stories where that came from. Maybe I'll tell you the one about when I—" But he was interrupted by a sudden rustling in the bushes, signaling a new twist in their adventure. Before them stood the towering Mount Air, its peak hidden amongst the clouds. "How are we—" Hedgie began, staring at the intimidating height. "Going to get up there?" Penguis finished, a hint of worry in his voice. They were silent for a moment, each of them pondering the seemingly impossible task ahead. Suddenly, Penguis's eyes sparkled with an idea. "The crystal, maybe it can help us," he exclaimed, holding up the crystal shard. "It's worth a try," Hedgie agreed, a hopeful glint in his eyes. Penguis, his voice shaky but determined, began to utter magic words he'd heard in stories. Abracadabra, alakazam, simsim salabim. But nothing happened. Disappointment washed over them. "Please," Penguis whispered, addressing the crystal now. "We need to reach the top. For the penguins, for Wigglebottom, for all of us." And then, as if answering their plea, the crystal glowed brightly. Before their astounded eyes, a staircase began to form, each step made of shimmering light, leading right to the base of Mount Air. "Well, that's one way to make an entrance," Hedgie quipped, earning a chuckle from Penguis. And so, with renewed hope, they began their climb, ascending the magical staircase towards their destiny. Back at the giant banana, the great banana and his cohorts were making plans of their own. "So when will we start the trip to Volcano Ridge?" asked Banana Man, missing a hand. The great banana, a figure of authority among them, simply replied, "Soon. Bring those 2 penguin fugitives with us and get in the big banana mobile. It will get us there quickly." As they approached the ominous Volcano Ridge, they noticed a peculiar cave adorned with strange markings. "Is the fire crystal in there?" inquired Banana Man, missing a hand. "Yes," affirmed the great banana. "The fire crystal should be right in there." They ventured into the cave only to be met with a dead end. However, Banana Man, missing a hand, noticed something unusual. A pole made with magma and an orange platform on top with squiggly lines on it. The great banana commanded, "Bring the 2 fugitives in, they might know something." Following his orders, Banana Man with a pan brought in Chuchi and Benny. Despite their protests of ignorance, when they touched the mysterious pole, it flashed green and a voice echoed, "Penguin determined." The wall slid open, revealing the coveted fire crystal. Little did they know their journey was about to intertwine with that of Hedgie and Penguis in ways they could not yet fathom.